Whiskey 9, Mike Romeo Bravo.
Whiskey 9, Mike Romeo Bravo. Roger, and what's the name there?
Oh, Roger, and what's the name there?
You got Mike. I talked to you back in June off of a Spooner 8010. I am a different setup right now. Now I'm on a 7300 Icon.
Roger, Mike, running a 7300 this afternoon. And what's your location?
We are in
Sycamore, Illinois.
Roger that, Mike. Well, if you'd be interested in the setup on that radio, you know, it starts with that transmit bandwidth. We want that to be in the wide mode, 100 to 2900. You have a selection of 3 on the 7300, and we want it in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger?
Transmit bandwidth, Roger.
Yeah, I believe that's where we're at. I think that's where we are. Let's check it out.
Yes, sir, because that will allow your transmitter to function as best it can without any restrictions except the 2900. And what that does, it just gives you a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. You know, and that's the beautiful thing about that frequency range, 100 to 2900. It's as best it can be, and then just a slice of daylight before entering somebody else's area. Roger?
Somebody else's area, Roger.
Okay, yeah, we're trying to find it on this radio here. We just, let's get back up. I think that's where we are, but we're going to look right now. We got to figure out how to get there quicker.
Yes, sir. Settings, transmit, sideband, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
We're looking for it right now. Hold on.
Yes, sir. Settings, transmit, sideband, you know, and then somewhere in that area. You know, settings is the cross arms there. You got the wrench and the hammer or whatever. That's settings.
Settings.
I've got a book on that. I mean, you know, numbers, or should I say, I have notes on that 7300. Let me see here. Hang on just a minute.
Okay, that's where we have it set. So hopefully it sounds okay for you. That's where it's been.
Excellent. Now, are you working on the hand mic that was supplied with the radio? Is that a Roger?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a great microphone. Bob Heil did a beautiful job designing that microphone for that radio. But what you want to do is pull that microphone to the side of your lips and talk across it, to the corner of your lips and talk across it. Don't talk into it, just talk across it, Roger?
Across it, Roger.
That's exactly how I'm doing it.
Roger, Roger. So, and then you want to adjust that compressor to a 3. A 3 compression. You know, a 3 and a 6 are the same as far as actually working on the word. A 3 and a 6 are the same, except the 6 sucks up between the words, which doesn't do anybody any good. So we suggest a 3 on the compressor. Roger?
You've
got every setting that you've told me. That's where we are.
All right, now let's go to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the word audio, you become a human test tone generator and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3. That's audio. Adjust the mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3.
There we we go. How's that?
Yes, sir. Why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio?
What's the best thing you like about your radio?
We have several different units. We just picked up an FTGX10, so that's probably the next radio that I'll give you. I'll get on you, call you on maybe next time I'm out here. I like these radios. I don't know if you're correctly, but blind man, and I use what's called Improv. Supported at maybe 20. Radio is accessible.
Yes, sir, Mike. Well, you realize that you're really going to have your job cut out for you to do better than that 7300. That 7300 has one of the best transmitters I've ever heard in my life. Bob Heil not only did the mic for that, the handheld mic, but he did the EQ, I believe, also. And that EQ is simplicity personified. I mean, the whole idea is that an equalizer will give you a balance from the treble to the mid-range and the bass to the mid-range. And that being so, we don't need a mid-range control. Matter of fact, it can get you in a lot of trouble if you start screwing with a mid-range control. We usually suggest keeping that mid-range EQ control flat or off, and then adjust your treble or bass to whatever you need. And that was so much so that ICOM decided, well, if that's true, then we don't even need a mid-range control. So they don't put a mid-range control in the 7300 or the 7610. I believe they just use a treble control to strike a balance from the treble to the mids, and a bass control to strike a balance between the bass and the mid-range. And you couldn't get simpler than that, Roger.
You couldn't get simpler than that, Roger.
Yeah, I like these systems a lot. They sound really well with hand mic. I also have an SM50, but I'm outside right now. We're underneath a roof here outside, and I'm afraid if we put the SM50 on, we're going to get too much wind noise. But I'm just running here.
So, Mike, I'm looking around now, and I can only find you on my my Kentucky SDR. I've checked all the other SDRs, and you're only showing up on my Kentucky SDR at about a dB or two over its noise level. And again, might I recommend, and I always do, a tuned dipole antenna as to be one of the most efficient antennas in the world as far as getting out, because you just fire to the wire. There's no antenna tuner there, because you have no SWR, because you are your antenna is adjusted for no SWR. And so as far as achieving maximum capability of whatever power that you put in, that tuned dipole antenna will be a maximum efficiency antenna. Roger?
Efficiency antenna, Roger.
Yeah, we're running right now an off-center fed antenna. It's about 90 feet long on one side, 40 feet on the other side. And we're running about 1,500 watts into it right now. So I don't know why you don't hear me. You should really be hearing me well, but maybe the conditions aren't great.
Yeah, conditions are not great. You're listening to a kilowatt, and I've been around the Horn. I've been up in New York. I've been in Pennsylvania. I've been in Georgia. I've been in Virginia, and the only one I'm copying the mail is on my my Kentucky SDR, and I think that's up around on the Kentucky side, up around Cincinnati, Ohio. Roger?
Around Cincinnati, Ohio. Roger?
Okay, I can't remember. Where is your actual location, your station, though? Did you say you're in Pennsylvania? I can't remember.
No, we're down around Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. And that's our transmitter, and we do have fingers all over as far as listening. All of our internet SDRs are our listeners, you know, but we are transmitting all the time on our tuned dipole antenna right at Louisville. Roger.
Right at Louisville. Roger.
Alrighty, and what kind of power are you putting out?
This is SB220 running 1 kW. We always have run that for the last 7 years. Roger.
7 years. Roger.
Okay, well, you sound great. I mean, I remember talking to you last time on that Stoner radio. I don't know if you remember me, but on June 7th, the video, we kept it, so put that up there. So we'll look for it again today to see how the radio sounds. That'll give me a better idea of what we sound like there when you put the video gate up there.
Yes, sir. From what I can hear, the audio sounds intelligible. It has a nice artistic sound to it. You know, it cuts, and that's the main thing. It could be a little fuller. Did we ever get to the ALC part? Checking that ALC level, bring your ALC meter up as you say the word audio and adjust your mic gain for 2/3 on your ALC meter?
For 2/3 on your ALC meter?
Yes, sir. That's where I said it. Yeah, 2/3 meter check. I have the handheld, I mean the SM50. I mean, I have one, but I don't know where it's at. It's not here. Wait, I will pull that on for you. But there's a wind. There's a pretty good amount of wind out here, so if I put it on, I think it's a lot of noise. So, well, you know what? As long as you can hear me okay, I'll listen on the YouTube video when you put it out. Yeah, the wind's blowing right in my face right now. You might be able to hear it a little bit, but yeah, I won't tie you up. I just wanted to give you a call, and glad to hear you still out here. Last time I talked to you was in June, so conditions aren't great because I heard you better last time.
Yes, sir. So you're outside now, in a mobile, or what's that?
In a mobile, or what's that?
Nope, we were able to get it set up here. It's like a patio, basically. And we're underneath the roof, but it's open, you know. We have some shades around us. But it's fully open, so we're getting the outside air. So it's gorgeous outside right now. We're plugged into a power supply, and we have a relay for the amplifier run out here, as well as the coax. So we can do full base operation from an outside location, base station. So generally the base station is in the basement. We have several radios. This is one of them. We have a 7610, we have a Yaesu WTGX10, and we have that Stoner, and a couple other radios here and there. But I want to try you from all the radios. So this week will be the 7300. The next time I get you will either be the DX10 or the 7610, and you can give me my report then also.
Roger, Mike. Well, I'll guarantee you, if you take that hand mic and you put it to the side of your lips, directly touch the side of your lips and speak, there's no way that any wind noise is going to overcome your percent of modulation, unless, of course, you're doing 100 miles an hour down an interstate somewhere. But if you're just, in a house, outside, whatever, if you have that mic touching your lips on the corner and you're speaking, you are going to dominate that audio envelope, and the noise is not going to be present, again, unless you're in a 100-mile-an-hour hurricane.
In a 100-mile-an-hour hurricane.
Okay, I turned it the other way. The wind is hitting the back of the microphone now, and I got it pretty much up to my face, as close as I can get it. I just didn't want to get too close to it, but this is exactly where you're telling me to put it, so that's where it's at. I have the microphone facing away from the wind right now, so this should probably be the best I can do with it right now.
Yes, sir. You actually touch the corner of your lips, man. You know, that's the thing. You need to touch the corner of your lips so your microphone is back, so you're not going to pick up any plosives and mouth noises back there. And plus, your signal-to-noise ratio comes up tremendously when you're touching the corner of your lips to the microphone, Roger. It actually do that.
Microphone, Roger. It actually do that.
Yep, that's where I have it right now, just where you're saying. It's about as close as I can get it without eating it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll take a few chunks. I'm kidding, but you do want to actually touch your lips. You know, you're back far enough that you can actually touch your lips, and your pronunciation, articulation will just be beautiful back there, Roger.
Articulation will just be beautiful back there, Roger.
Okay, well, that's exactly where I have it, so hopefully it sounds okay to you.
Yes, sir, it does, and it seems like your average percent of peak modulation is up there, around 80 to 85%, which is precisely what we want. That is like about a 3 dB dynamic range. What happens is if you exceed 3 dB and continue to compress your audio, you do yourself a disservice, because comprehension of words, you have to have some life in the modulation to be able to perceive what the words are. It's got to breathe a little bit, and if it doesn't, if it's just up against the wall, it becomes almost unintelligible. So that's why we suggest a 3 dB dynamic range to keep a little bit of life in your audio, Roger. In your audio, Roger.
All right, let me know what this sounds like here. I just threw the SM50 on. Should give me a totally different dynamic there. And we're about, I'm about maybe 6 inches away from it, and we got the same audio level, so I don't know if this thing's going to be too hot or if it's banging the ALC here, but you tell me how it sounds there. Go ahead.
Oh, gosh, just beautiful, just beautiful. Sound like you walked in a room, opened the door, and stepped in, Roger.
In a room, opened the door, and stepped in, Roger.
Okay, well, yeah, I like this microphone better. I just didn't know how it would react being outside. I don't like handheld mics. I never use them myself, but I just figured I'd try you with the stock microphone to see where we're at. And now we have the 50 on, which is a very good microphone. Really like this thing a lot, so I'm glad to get a good report from you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And if you listen to your audio, you'll be so surprised about what happens there when you switched mics. I mean, it just, like I say, it was a difference of opening the door and stepping in a room, you know. The audio came up, the crispness came up, just beautiful. I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Mike.
Get the Gorilla Tape out and taper down, Mike.
Okay, cool. I'm going to definitely listen, so whenever you put the video up, I'm going to be able to hear the difference between the two microphones now, so that's going to be interesting. Like I said, we're sitting outside right now. It's a gorgeous day, probably middle 80s, so, I mean, you might be a little bit warmer. I'm not sure exactly what the temperature is, but it's very nice. A little bit high on the humidity, but I don't care because it's summer and it's going away quick, so we're enjoying it as much as we can. That's why we're staying outside. So, listen, I want to thank you for the radio check and the radio advice and all that. I'm going to let you get on with it and talk to other people. And I will look forward to listening to us when you put it up. Go ahead.
Roger, Mike. Well, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3100, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. So there you go. You have a great afternoon there, Mike, and we are probably going to wrap it up here shortly. So let me say 73 to you, sir.
Here shortly, so let me say 73 to you, sir.
Okay, 73, and thank you very much for the radio setting suggestions, and I'll get back to you next time on the Yaesu, and then you can tell me how that one's doing. I don't know when that's going to be, probably a few more weeks at least, so you take care, and thanks a lot for talking to me. This is our KC9VKV, this is W9MRB, 73.
Roger, sir, 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and if you participated and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3100, and I will have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. And with all of that said, we got to get out of here and return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.